I'd like to thank you all for letting me join your fan fiction group. It's really exciting for me to actually meet people as into this as I am.
Bradley, we're just as happy to have you. In fact, why don't we just get started? Peter, would you like to tell the first story tonight?
So my story tonight involves Darth Vader going back in time and visiting his childhood self.
Wow, you know, that sounds like a really powerful moment.
It's the night before the big pod race. And he sleeps dreaming of leaving Quadranaire and Sebulba in his dust. He's unaware that tomorrow he'll gain his freedom from Watto and his life will change forever. Vader appears and stares at the boy and remembers the idyllic, young, midichlorian-rich slave he once was. He stares down at his cold metal hands, trying to figure out what went wrong. He starts to caress the boy, and then he realizes how hard he is.
I'm sorry, you're about to make Darth Vader have sex with his childhood self. This is sick.
The dark side can make a man do strange things.
Yeah, come on, Bradley. Peter just has an imagination brave enough to go there. I'll tell you what, I'll tell the next story. As you all know, I love historical fiction.
This guy here could make Warren G. Harding look like Chester A. Arthur.
Somebody's got to, am I right? No, but this takes place during the Civil War. It's the night before Lincoln signs the Emancipation Proclamation. He's torn. He knows he may lose the South forever, but he must do what's right in his heart. He's pacing through the White House for hours, trying to find the words that will repair this tattered nation. That's when none other than Captain Jean-Luc Picard beams down into his office thanks to a molecular mix-up in the space-time continuum. The two are frightened at first, of course. But that's when they realize they have more in common than they thought they did. They talk about the parallels between the Union and the Federation.
Now that is interesting.
It gets better. That's when Lincoln notices how hard Picard is.
Picard is not gay. Not even when he was a Borg.
Cast a spell of silence on yourself because I think that sweater's giving you +2 rudeness. Look, if you're just here to censor us, maybe you should leave. Poor Sylvia hasn't even had a chance to go yet. How do you think she feels right now?
Well, I wasn't trying to censor anyone. Sylvia, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Let's try to keep an open mind, okay? Okay. My story this week takes place at my favorite place to go in my dreams, Hogwarts, School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It's the night before the owls, and Ron has accidentally cast a spell on Hermione, turning her into a ravenous she-wolf, and she is on the loose. He and Harry are the only ones who can subdue her, but they need to use a forbidden spell that Dumbledore refuses to teach them. They go to his office. There must be some way we can convince you to tell us this spell, Professor. Hermione is tearing up the Quidditch field and killing members of Hufflepuff. His voice cracking. Well, Harry, I think there is something we can work out, but we'll need Ron's help too. So, Harry lets Dumbledore fist him while Ron licks his balls. Then, as Dumbledore is just about to come, Snape walks in and they think the jig is up. But then they realize how hard Snape is.
Snape would not be hard, especially not by a student from Gryffindor. This is insane. I actually care about these characters. And all you want to do is make them fist each other and give each other rim jobs.
You know what, Bradley? Maybe it's your turn. Why don't you tell us a story?
Well, okay. My story is a continuation of Ghostbusters. We find ourselves years later. Dr. Peter Venkman is walking down the hall of his childhood home. Scattered around him are pictures left behind from the time before he knew about the things that went bump in the night. He looks up from an old Polaroid and sees the face of a twisted specter in front of him. And he realizes it's the ghost of his own father. He tries to reach for his proton pack. His hands are trembling. He just can't do it.
I feel like this is missing something.
It kind of all comes off very hacky.
And then he realizes how hard he is.
Bonanza. Bingo.